Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you may notice, my mic is a shit ton better. It is brand new, thank you for asking. But I also have a webcam, so recording videos is going to be a lot easier and a lot better. It's going to be better quality for you guys. A lot better quality. A lot better quality. But today in this video, I'm going to be ranking every single game that I played in the year of 2025. I played a total of, how many games? 13? 5, 4, 4, 8, 5. Sure, 13. Yeah, 13. 13 games. Played all the Fears of Fathom games, played all the Dead Space games, and I played some other ones too. Some that you don't recognize, like Doki Doki and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And some that have not been released yet, like Dead Space 2, Dead Space 3. So yeah. We're going to be ranking every single one of them. The site that I have used is Backlog, so I'll put a link in the description for not only this list, but for the site itself. But yeah, let's get right into it. The worst game that I played this year, it's got to be Norwood Hitchhike. Gotta be Norwood Hitchhike. This game was boring as fuck. This game was it was fine. It's a Fears to Fathom game, so I don't know It was slow. It was really slow, and there was no build up to the main thing. But you know what? Hey, I got to watch Superman. I got to watch Superman, so that was fine. That was great. I loved that. I think that was probably the best part about this game, that I got to watch Superman. But this game is so slow and boring, and it's not good. It was slow. It was boring. The main antagonist was lame as fuck. He was easily the worst of the series. There was nothing no build up to him, right? What the fuck? What? It was just some random fucking guy, which I know that's realistic. That's 100% realistic. Most of the time when someone is trying to kill you, it's just some random guy, but still, it lame as fuck. There was nothing about him. Nothing we didn't get to know him at all, It was lame. But no, it was the main antagonist fucking sucked in this game. It was not fun. But next up, I put in Carson House. I liked the antagonist, but it just becomes a FNAF game at one point. It just becomes a FNAF game, and that's not fun. FNAF is okay as a series, but I'm just not the biggest fan of FNAF, that's all you do. You just sit in the camera room while your ex-girlfriend crashes some guy's home. It's hilarious, but it's just, I don't know. It was boring. Again, all you did was sit in the camera room and you did nothing else. You did nothing else while the interesting things are happening. That's it. I mean, it was fine though. It was okay. But you just sat in the camera room and it was boring. Next up, I'd put Home Alone. It's tough between Home Alone and Dead Space 3. I was not a fan of Dead Space 3, but I think I'd probably put Home Alone below Dead Space 3. Because Home Alone is short as fuck. Home Alone is 15 minutes long. Probably 30, actually. It's a very short game. But at the same time, the purpose that it's trying to serve, it serves. It's serving as a demo to the rest of the Fears to Fathom games. It's just kind of showing you what the games are going to be about and what the gameplay is going to be like, what the atmosphere is going to be like, the graphics, whatnot. That's what it does, and it does that really well. I liked how you're just a scared 14-year-old, and some guy breaks into your house, and you're like, what the fuck do I do? It was fun. It was creepy too, creepier than I anticipated, but it was a great game. I liked it a lot. But yeah, next up is Dead Space 3. I have a lot to say about this game. Because, oh boy. Dead Space 3 was not good. The writing was awful. I can't get over the writing of how bad it was in this game. 90% of the time, all you're doing is it's just like a dick measuring contest between Isaac and Robert, trying to impress Ellie. And it's so fucking pathetic. It's so annoying and boring and not interesting to watch or be a part of. It's so bad. It's so bad. The only like sensible character is John Carver, my fucking goat, dude. I love John Carver. John Carver is probably my favorite character of the Dead Space series besides Isaac. And I mean, the only reason that Isaac is better is because he's been consistent. Well, kind of consistent. He was kind of bad in Dead Space 3. I don't know. Maybe John Carver is just like my favorite character of the series. John Carver is fucking goated as shit. I absolutely love John Carver. He is such a well-written character, especially when you get into the lore of Dead Space. I've gotten into the lore of Dead Space. The lore of Dead Space is peak. It's an amazing, amazing story. I love the lore. But the lore of John Carver, too, is amazing. It's so good, dude. John Carver is such a well-written character, and he's so fucking badass, too. My favorite part of Dead Space 3 is John Carver. Ellie's fine. Like I really liked Ellie in Dead Space 2. My favorite character in that game. But Ellie was kind of lame in this game. I don't know. A lot of the characters are just like besmirched, like Isaac. Isaac was not fun in this game. And Tau Volantis is a really boring planet too. You know? Because it's just ice. It's just ice and snow and like nothing else. And you find the occasional frozen necromorph, but that's about it, you know? And the story, too. The story is just like, it's fine. It's okay. The origin of the necromorphs it's cool, but like, I don't know. It's just, It's just boring and it's just boring and uninteresting. Okay, well, that's a lie. The origin of the necromorphs is not uninteresting at all. But it's not even the origin of the necromorphs. That's the thing. The origin of the necromorphs is still unknown. Tau Volantis is kind of like how the necromorphs branched off. It kind of is the origin. Tau Volantis is not the original planet of the necromorphs. It's not the planet that the necromorphs came from, or the markers. That is still unknown. But Tau Volantis was the first planet to be really majorly affected by the necromorphs. And long ago, the alien species that lived there were formed a cult similar to Unitology, and they did what Tideman was trying to do in Dead Space 2. They actually completed conversions, and they made what is called a Brethren Moon. There are 7 Brethren Moons. Well, some of the other aliens who were actually sensible thinking, figured out, hey, maybe we shouldn't have necromorphs. Maybe we shouldn't have Brethren Moons. Maybe we shouldn't have that. Maybe not. So they created a weapon to destroy the Brethren Moons, and they created a weapon to freeze the planet. That's why Tau Volantis is frozen. It's an ice planet. That's why it's an ice planet, because the alien species back in the day created a device that could freeze the entire planet. Granted, it would kill them, but it was a sacrifice they were willing to make, just like Isaac and the rest of the gang. Some of them. Robert was not. Robert wasn't willing to kill himself, but the rest of the people were. But still, that's kind of a rundown on the lore of Tau Volantis. But still, it was kind of interesting. I thought the lore of Dead Space 3 was kind of interesting, but most everything else sucked. The crafting system was so annoying and confusing and not good, like at all. It was bad. It was really, really bad. I was not a fan of it. It just wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun. I was not a fan. I was not a fan. But like, I mean, if I can defend it in some way, it introduces John Carver, and the gameplay is still the exact same. Oh, the enemies too. The enemies kind of sucked in this game. There was still necromorphs, but like there was zombies now for some reason. A lot of weird things happen in this game that I was not a fan of. Like to the enemies at least. But still though, the gameplay itself, it's Dead Space. Like, it doesn't, the gameplay doesn't stray too far away from the other Dead Space games. You know, you still have kinesis, you still have stasis, you still have all this. So the gameplay itself, it's Dead Space. It's Dead Space gameplay. So it's still fun. You know, the gameplay is still good and it's still nice, but the rest of this game really was not good. I could go on for a while about how bad Dead Space 3 is, but I'm going to continue. With the next game, oh, yeah, Woodbury Getaway. Woodbury Getaway was great. I loved I really liked Woodbury Getaway. I liked Rick. I liked like the yeah. I don't think his name is ever said, but the one guy who's like pretending to be Rick. I liked him as an antagonist. He was really cool, but I didn't like the human subplot. I didn't like the human subplot with what's his name, Mike and Sarah. I didn't like that subplot where like Mike is crushing on Sarah and like he tries to confess his love. It was boring. It was boring and I was not interested in it at all. It was a boring subplot. I was not a fan. And a lot of like the tasks you do, like going fishing, the fishing minigame was actually good. The fishing minigame was good. It reminded me of Stardew Valley. And I mean there were some cool bits here and there, but it's a little anticlimactic, a little boring. You know, it's a little slow, kind of like Norwood Hitchhike, but it was cool. Like when I first played the game, I already knew that the guy that is pretending to be Rick wasn't actually Rick. I already knew that. I already knew that Rick lived elsewhere, not close. However, like even with this knowledge, I still found like the things that he did to be like creepy and like really cool. I think that like actually amped it up. Knowing that like he wasn't actually like really Rick, I thought that was cool. But no, it's a cool game. It's a really good game. It's a really good Fierce to Fathom game, but there was still some flaws about it. Next up is Ironbark Lookout. This is my favorite of the Fierce to Fathom games. I loved Colt as a villain. It was really fucking dope. There's a lot of funny jokes. There's a lot of really funny jokes in here. Like this is probably the funniest Fierce to Fathom games that I've played. It was great. I liked it a lot. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, this was my favorite Fierce to Fathom. I liked the interaction between like the guy on the other side of the radio and you, the protagonist. I thought that was really cool. There was a lot of other really cool parts about this game. It's just I like the atmosphere too. The woods and like the watchtower is a really cool atmosphere that I like a lot in games. But yeah. So I was a big fan of Ironbark Lookout. Next up, I'd probably put Happy House Homicide. Happy House Homicide was an amazing game, and it was you get your money's worth, too. Like, it's a free game. Happy House Homicide is completely free on Steam. If you haven't already, go fucking play it. It's like 5 hours, and it's a really cool game. I like the gameplay. It was short and sweet and simple. And the story was cool, too. I like the antagonist. Antagonist being, like, who you play as. You play as the antagonist in the game. You don't play as the protagonist. But I mean, you actually do. You play as the detective, and that's like one of the things that I actually wish was more in the game. I wish there was more interaction with the detective and the killer. I wish there was more interaction there. But other than that, it was still a really cool game. It was made by one guy too. It was made by one guy, which is great. Which is great. It was a fun game, and I really enjoyed it. But it's not better than the other games. Speaking of Doki Doki, this is the first game that you guys don't know about. Doki Doki was good when it actually became good. Spoiler warning, real quick, for pretty much the entire rest of this section here. A lot of spoilers. If you haven't played the game, kind of just like skip over this. I'll probably put a timestamp up on the screen. But if you haven't played Doki Doki Literature Club, first off, you should play it. It's a good game. But if you haven't, there's a lot of spoilers in this section, so please click away. So like the game only like really, so like okay, main complaint that I have with this game constantly is the first half. The first half of this game is literally just a dating sim. It's nothing more, nothing less. Nothing fucking happens. Nothing happens for like the first half of this game. It's just a dating sim. Nothing else to it, right? It is at its core and nothing else a dating sim. Um, it was, and I can't lie. I can't lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I found myself interested in the story. I found myself actually like, I really do like Yuri, but Sayori, we've been friends for so long, but Monica is so bad. Like, I actually found myself like contemplating who to pick. It was intriguing, you know? It was very intriguing. But the game only really gets good when Sayori hangs herself. That is the second that she hangs herself, oh my god, the game gets good. Oh my god, the game gets good. The game gets amazing. The game gets so good after Sayori hangs herself. It's awesome. I I love Doki Doki Literature Club after Sayori hangs herself. Anything before that, not interested. Could care less. Not a big fan of dating sims, and not my cup of tea. But no, seriously, like, but when Sayori hangs herself, it gets really good. After that, it gets really good, and I really like that part of the game. So yeah, that was a big fan of that. Next up, it's tough deciding between Mario Kart and Dead Space 1, but I think I'm going to put Dead Space 1 next and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe above that. I loved Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 was an amazing fucking game. The story was amazing. I loved the marker as like an inanimate object, but it's still a villain. And it's not even really an inanimate object. It's still kind of alive, you know? But I love the marker. The marker is cool. And I love like the lore of unitology. All men be praised. All men be praised. But no, seriously, Dead Space 1 was an amazing game. And will definitely go down in history as one of my favorite games of all time. As one of my favorite games of all time, but it's like down here. But no, I love the Dead Space franchise. It will always hold a special place in my heart. It was an amazing game. I really, really liked it. It was fan-flippin-tastic. I liked the Necromorphs. Necromorphs are really cool. Isaac is a cool character. He's a cool protagonist. Granted, I like when Isaac talks. I don't like Isaac as a silent protagonist. I like when he does talk and he has like actual voice lines. But he's still fine in this game. He's still a really cool protagonist in this game. You know, just because he's not talking doesn't mean that I don't like him in this game. He's still really cool. But this game is awesome. Love this game. Love this game. Fan-flippin-tastic, but not better than the other ones. Speaking of, next up we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yeah, so by the way, I might have already said this in one of my other videos. I can't keep track of what I say in videos and whatnot. But I got a Switch. I got a Switch for my birthday this year. And I got some Switch games for not only for my birthday, but also for Christmas. So I have some videos planned for that. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was one of those games that I did play when I got my Switch. I played it off camera. And it was a fucking blast. I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It is easily my favorite Mario Kart game, and I feel like it has to be the best Mario Kart game. I mean, come on. The map selection is insanely wide, and it's good too. Even if you don't purchase the Booster Course Pass, the 48 tracks that you get are really good, and there are some amazing original tracks like Big Blue, Mount Wario, Animal Crossing is a really good map too. There's a lot of really good original tracks in the original game. And if you add on the Booster Course pack, you have Rosalina's Ice World, Coconut Mall, Waluigi Pinball, Rainbow Road. 3DS Rainbow Road is fucking peak. It's fucking amazing. Maple Treeway, DK Summit, Koopa Cape. There's some amazing fucking tracks that comes with the Booster Course Pass and in the original game. And the gameplay is really polished and smooth. However, one of the new mechanic that they introduced in Mario Kart 8, anti-gravity, It's not interesting. It's by far the worst. It's like by far the worst new mechanic introduced in a Mario Kart game, but it's fine. I mean, I don't think that holds back how good this game is. It's still amazing. It's still an amazing game, and I love it. Like, the battle mode's fun. The character selection is also great. The character selection is cool. There's some forgettable characters, but Mario Kart World has nothing but forgettable characters. So it's excused, you know? There's only a couple, like Peachette, Rose Gold Peach. Like, I feel like Tanuki Mario, it could have just been a costume. But next up, we got the Dead Space remake. I am actually going to keep what I have here. Midnight Walk at number 1, Dead Space 2 at number 2, and then Dead Space Remake at number 3. Dead Space Remake was fan-flippin-tastic. It was amazing. It improved on everything the original did wrong and then some. It kept the original story that the first game had, but it polished it. Isaac talks in this game now, so that's amazing. It added some cool parts like Elizabeth Cross in the finale. I thought that was really cool. And some new characters like, again, Elizabeth Cross. Elizabeth Cross in the first game, you read about her. You read about her in some text logs and audio logs. But in the remake, she's an actual character. And I felt like Dr. Mercer was a much better antagonist in this one. He was amped up a lot better. And a lot of the characters just like, the writing was just so much better. Right? Like in the first game, I felt like Hammond could have been so much better. In the remake, he was amazing. I love how he didn't truly get over Chen. If you don't know, the first interaction that Hammond, Daniels, and Isaac have with necromorphs is inside the main lobby, and Chen, one of their pilots, gets killed by a necromorph and turns into a necromorph. And Hammond, throughout the entire game, still hasn't gotten over that. And that's how Hammond, spoiler alert, that's how Hammond dies. Hammond dies by finally accepting that Chen is dead, and he kills Chen and himself after he already knew, like a necromorph is coming up. Actually, Chen as a necromorph is coming up to Hammond, stabs him in the gut, and it's like, Hammond's like, all right, I'm already dead, but he finally accepts that Chen is dead as well, and so he kills himself and Chen, and yeah, it's really cool. I liked Hammond's story in this one. Daniels was a lot better in the first game, I think, personally. But it just improves on everything the first game did wrong and then some. It's an amazing game. And one more thing before I continue on to Dead Space 2. I like the Metroidvania style of gameplay. Like, I like how you can go back to previous parts of the ship at free, just whenever you want, freely. That part is amazing. I like, because it's again, the remake is structured like a Metroidvania, and that part is really fucking cool. It's really awesome. I love it. But yeah, but I do like Dead Space 2 more. Dead Space 2 is my favorite Dead Space game. I love it so much. The gameplay is awesome. The story is great. And it introduces Ellie, which is one of my favorite characters. Not my favorite character, but one of my favorite characters of the Dead Space franchise. She was amazing in this game, and so was Nolan Strauss. Nolan Strauss was a great character. I loved him. Tideman was also cool. Isaac was cool in this game. Everyone was fucking dope in this game. Give yourselves a round of applause in this game. And it's creepy, too. This game was probably the scariest Dead Space game that I played. Like, the hallucination scenes with Nicole was genuinely scary. Those were, like, actually terrifying, I'd say. But, yeah, no, this was an amazing game. It was scary. It was fucking awesome. I fucking love this game. I fucking love this game to death. One of my favorite games of all time, I'd actually say. It was fucking amazing. It sucks I don't ever get remade. Yeah, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. EA is not remaking Dead Space 2. It's a sad truth that us Dead Space fans have to accept, but it's not happening. It's not happening. Anyway. In first place, we have the Midnight Walk. I loved this game so fucking much. It was so good. It was fucking awesome. I loved the stories. First off, usually when, like, a lot of times in TV shows, they'll have episodes that are structured like Little Shop of Horrors, where it's just like a bunch of like mini stories in one episode. I never really was a fan of those types of episodes. Anytime a show has that type of have that type of episode, I always skip it. I always skip it. It's just like completely unnecessary and uninteresting. Most of the time, they're not even canon. It's just boring. I was never a fan of those types of episodes. So like going into this, I didn't know what to expect. I knew nothing about the game. I saw the art style and I thought it was really really cool. So I wanted to play it, and I didn't know it was going to be that type of format. But I was, dude, I loved the stories that they had. The stories that they had in the game were so fucking good. They were such good stories to tell. And the overarching story of you going on this journey with Potboy on the Midnight Walk, going through this land that is like dark and eerie, was fantastic. It was amazing. And the art style was also amazing. The characters were really cool. Potboy, Housey, and the other one. It's been a while since I played this game. This was the first game that I played in. No, it's not. It's not the first game I played in 2025. But it was one of the first games that I played in 2025. I played it in like summer. But yeah. No, I absolutely adored this game. It was amazing. I was such a big fan of it. It was awesome. But that's it. This is the list. This is the list. The definitive list. We got Norwood Hitchhike at the bottom, and then Carson House, Home Alone, Dead Space 3, Woodbury Getaway, Ironbark Lookout, Happy House Homicide, Doki Doki Literature Club, Dead Space 1, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Dead Space Remake, Dead Space 2, and then The Midnight Walk. Here it is. All right. So that's going to do it for me. Hopefully, I have a lot of games planned for 2026. I have a ton of games planned. Hopefully, I will get through those games faster in 2026. I really want to up the amount of games that I play in 2026. So yeah. I know I said I wasn't going to do a ranking video, but I did anyway, so losers. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. But if you enjoy all my videos as a whole and you enjoy me and my channel, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it, and you don't have to if you don't want to. That's going to do it for me. Sorry for the lack of uploads. I'm going to try and really crack down getting into the Dead Space Marathon. I still need to edit Dead Space 2. But I'm going to try and crack down and get this out in good quality too. So yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.